went into this movie wanting to give it a 355 out of 10, and let me tell you guys, I'm a little closer to a 3.5 out of 10. But y'all, thank you so much for clicking on my review here. Welcome if you're new. My name is Leo Rydell, and this is Geekly Goods, where we talk the latest in movies, TV, with a little sprinkle anime in there as well. Guys, I'm here today to review the 355, and I gotta admit, I really wanted to like this movie a lot, but I ended up really not loving it. So let's dive into this review. Let me answer this question for you. What is the 355 about? CIA agent Mason Mace Brown joins forces with a rival German agent, a cutting-edge computer specialist, and a Colombian psychologist when a top secret weapon falls into the hands of a group of mercenaries. Together, the four women embark on a breakneck mission to save the world while staying one step ahead of a mysterious figure who's tracking their every move. This is directed by Simon Kinberg and stars Jessica Chastain, Lupita Nyong'o, Bing Fan, Penelope Cruz, Diane Kruger, and more. Sebastian Stan's in the movie as well. And y'all, I just want to start out with what works. And look, Bing Fan, I liked her in this movie. I thought that she had presence. I thought as soon as she came on camera that she really shook things up for the story and kind of made for a little bit of the twist. Now, she doesn't pop up until about a good ways into the movie, but that's all I'll say about her role. I really liked the way she was just on camera and the dynamic that she brought to the group. She just brought this gravity that really helped uplift the story where it was at that point. So I really like Bing Fan. And honestly, guys, I like the other actresses in other movies, but even they couldn't help this script. So let's get into, unfortunately, already what doesn't work with this movie. And I'm just gonna start from the jump and say the action cinematography might be some of the worst I've seen ever. I mean, I don't wanna go ever because there's abysmal stuff out there, but maybe some of the worst I've seen in the past decade, guys. Yes, worse than the rhythm section, worse than some of the other January slump movies. Man, oh, it was shot so bad, guys. It was very shaky, first and foremost. During any running scenes, any chase scenes, very shaky camera where angles were terribly composed. I mean, actors and actresses had their heads literally cut off. I was not feeling the action cinematography at all. There were these random wraparounds during normal conversation and these really jarring cuts during any sort of exchanges of punches or kicks or moves. There were these really just jarring edits that just took you right out of it. And the weirdest thing I might have seen in these sequences were these weird cross zooms where instead of actually like pushing in and physically pushing into the subject, they would literally zoom. Like it was like if you have a camera and you hit the zoom button or you roll the lens and that's the zoom, however method, that's like home movie-ish. I don't know, it didn't work and it just didn't translate well. And unfortunately, every time it came to an action sequence or was getting ready to start some heavy action, I was like, please get through this as quick as possible because it did not look too well. And that goes hand in hand with the cinematography for the movie as a whole. It just did not work. Some random shot selections, as I was saying, weird cut off heads and composition. It just did not look good. So off to a pretty rough start there. Unfortunately, this script is absolutely horrendous. I mean, seriously, there are some really weird moments exchanged in this movie, like Jessica and Lupita's character have to work together, and in order to like convince her, Jessica's character starts referencing, and I'm not playing, old wars, and she actually says this in the movie, those old time wars like the Cold War, and I was like, are we serious right now? Like, this is the weirdest script of the year already. I mean, hey, we only got a couple movies, but wow, this was really bad. So unfortunately, it made for pretty bad characters from Jessica, Lupita, and like I said, they're great actresses and they do their best, but man, there is just not good on-screen chemistry. Jessica Chastain's character and Sebastian Stan's character are a couple, and it just doesn't translate well. The couple just, there's no chemistry, man. There's no chemistry. And I feel the dynamic between the ladies, but unfortunately, the script doesn't allow for enough time for moments to just really let these characters develop and really let them actually become attached to one another and form relationships and strong friendships. It's just abysmal. And that goes hand in hand with the pacing. Very bad here. Very bad. I mean, seriously, scenes are only a couple minutes long. They graze over emotional moments. Like, there are some heavy emotional things that happen in this movie, and they just graze right over and get to the next thing. And I'm like, hey, maybe you want to stop to maybe, like, you know, mourn or actually be in the moment a little and let these characters breathe and have these reactions. Nope, no time for that. They just keep rolling with the action, which is very generic, and the story is just really generic. It feels like a copy paste of some generic spy movie. I liked Ocean's 8 more than this, like way more than this, and I was not big on Ocean's 8, but I liked Ocean's 8 way more than I like this. I mean, you give it better script, better direction, definitely better direction. So that brings me to my point, is that all in all, these things not going hand in hand just points right back to the direction. I'm sorry, Simon Kinberg, not a director. He did X-Men Dark Phoenix, and that is his only directorial credit. He's produced plenty of movies, but he's only directed Dark Phoenix, which in my opinion is the worst X-Men movie. So, well, besides X-Men Origins Wolverine, but you know what happened and who wrote on that, so we won't get into that problem. But all these things, unfortunately, just encompass a spy movie that had a lot of potential, because that cast is stacked. A lot of potential that just did not deliver, unfortunately. You had a really good performance from Bing Fan, and not that the other actors and actresses didn't have good performances, but their script and their moments were just written so terribly that it didn't really give them good character moments. Unfortunately, there's no chemistry between these characters. The action is generic and shot terribly and choppy and just a little jarringly to where it's hard to watch. And also, it's just written bad, it's directed bad. There are so many bad qualities with this one, guys. If I had to give a rating to the 355 out of 10, I'm going to 3. Unfortunately, I wanted to be 355, y'all. 355 out of 10. I wanted to come out of this glowing, feeling good, because it's got a couple of some of my favorite actresses in it. I mean, Jessica and Lupita are a few of my favorite actresses. You can throw in Penelope Cruz and Diane Kruger, Bing Fan. Like, it's just such a huge cast to be making mistakes like this. So it's so unfortunate that I have to give it this low of a rating. But you all let me know your thoughts down in the comments, how you're feeling about the 355. Did you feel this way? Because we are in a January slump. So were you expecting it wasn't gonna be too good? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button for your boy Leo Rydell. And y'all, we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.